So you want to learn how to do better in Arena. Let's get into it in this series, Dominate Arena! Arena is one of the most fun areas of the game for a lot of players. And in this series, we are going to be breaking down, I don't know why I clicked on the factions, but it's fine, you know, you need factions for this. We are going to be breaking down all of the major parts of Arena, all of the different types of teams, strategies, champions, all kinds of stuff. So, you want to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, and that way you will be notified once you click that notification bell. Every time I upload a video in this series, I will have a playlist, so if you're watching this after my normal recording cycle, you can just click on the playlist, Dominate Arena, and watch through all of the future videos that I'm going to record in this series. So, if you're new to the channel here, I'm MtgJedi, and my main goal with my channel is to help players make their accounts better, be more successful, and clear all of the content in the game. We did that with the Who to Use Faction Wars series, where we covered every faction in detail, and we've done so many different tips and tricks videos, champion guides, etc. But in this series, we're going to be talking about the arena, okay? It is difficult for a lot of players to just reach Gold 4, okay? It is difficult for a lot of players to reach Gold 4. And once you're there, you know, you want to be successful. You want to be able to beat all these teams, okay? And so we need strategies, we need tips and tricks, we need all of these different types of things. This series is going to be for everyone. We're going to include things for players just starting out the game. We are going to include things for people who've been playing for forever. There is definitely something for you in this series, and I'm very excited to share it with you. Today, why am I starting with this? Because I don't know. Okay, today we are starting with the best crowd control champions in the entire game at the time of this recording, the beginning of 2022. So, it was, you know, we were talking on my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/MtgJedi, about champions who can control the enemy team. And we just call these crowd control champions. And so we're going to go through every faction, and I'm going to show you my go-to champions in every faction when I'm doing an account takeover. And if you'd like me to build you a sweet arena team for your account, you can contact me in the comments section below or in Discord, and we will set that up. My services are very inexpensive in comparison to other people. Now, if there are people who I leave off of this list, please let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know who are your favorite champions, okay? To get some hype going for this, we are going to do a gem giveaway, and I told myself that it didn't matter when I had the idea or when I told people about the idea, I was going to write it down so I don't forget. That's just how I have to do things. And so if you'd like to win some gems and help promote this video here just by pushing it out in the YouTube algorithm, hit the like button, comment in the comments below. You are going to comment crowd control and then your favorite champion who you like to use as crowd control, okay? Excuse me. Okay, drink my tea. The first type of champion that I want to talk about is a champion who puts skills on cooldown, okay? And so for that, we have Lugan the Steadfast with this ability here, block active skills, okay? Block active skills, putting skills on cooldown, these are very similar mechanics, and there's 3 main champions that you're going to use in order to do this skill here, okay? If you are using an HP or defense-based nuker or Candrafon, or someone who protects themselves like that, then using a block active skills or putting skills on cooldown champion is an excellent idea. Because it doesn't stop the opposing team from attacking, okay? What it does is it makes them only able to use their A1, okay? In this case for 2 turns, okay? So Lugan the Steadfast is an excellent option here for that ability. Okay. The other option that is similar to that is in my favorite faction, Skinwalkers here. We have Basher. And Basher increases the cooldown of all the target skills by 2 turns. Okay. And so Basher does the same thing, just in a slightly different way, okay? Lugan, what he does is he puts a debuff on the other team that can be cleansed. Basher and the next champion after this, they just increase the cooldown, okay? They just increase the cooldown. Basher also has excellent multipliers. He can be used as a damage dealer, especially in faction wars. I don't recommend it. He's an attack-based champion, but you want to treat him like support, okay? You want to treat him like support. Same with Lugan. Lugan can do a little bit of damage as well. And then, obviously, the most important champion, the best, the S-tier version of this is Warlord with this skill, putting all of the skills on cooldown. So whatever their cooldown is, if it's a 7-turn cooldown, then they can't use that skill for 7 turns. Also, this skill can be used even if they have immunity. And I think, although I need some more testing, I think it can be used against the new gear set Stone Skin as well. I'm not 100% on that. We still need to test it. That's still a new gear set in the game. But I don't think there's any way to stop this. There's no way to stop this. And that's what makes him the best. I mean, Warlord is literally the best. One of my favorite champions in the game. He's got the aura, he's got the block debuffs and the shield, and then the increasing the duration of all the debuffs. Just an excellent champion. Okay. The next type of champions is any type of champion who is going to prevent the opposing team from attacking at all. Okay. Now, the only one that I want to call out in Bannerlords here is Seneschal. Maybe one of the most underrated epics in the game. I always look for him as my go-to in Bannerlords Faction Wars because he not only puts a counterattack and an AoE provoke that we're looking for Arena, but he also has a perfect veil and a continuous heal in a faction with very few healers, and this is on a 2-turn cooldown, okay? Also, his only damage-dealing attack, his A1, has very high multipliers based on defense and then a little bit of attack, and so you can actually do a lot of damage with him, okay? The problem with him is that he's slow when you're using him on your arena team because he's going to counterattack. And there's another champion on this list who we'll get to as well who falls into this same category. Every time they counterattack, it slows it down and makes your arena fights take longer, which is fine. You just have to know that ahead of time. But AoE Provoke is, in my opinion, the best way. I love AoE Provoke, okay? It is my favorite mechanic in the game, to be honest with you. And so, a lot of these champions on this list are going to be AoE Provoke champions, okay? I would normally say Mage Helmet, and if you have to, you can use him. But the problem is, you don't want to use champions that are not 100%. Now, the difference here is that if the stun doesn't land, he will decrease their turn meters by 20%, okay? So Archmage Helmet is an option that everyone can get from the Doom Tower. So if you have literally no one on my list today, then you can use Helmet. Okay, I feel like I'm going to need to speed this up if we're going to get through this. There's very few options that I would recommend here from High Elves, but Shiramani is one of them. She has an AoE freeze with books is 100%, and then she fills her own turn meter. She can also heal you later on and all that stuff. But AoE freeze is another great mechanic to prevent your opponents from doing whatever they wanted to do to kill you. The problem with freeze, I like it the least because you do less damage against them, okay? And so I don't like it as well, all right? Astralon is going to be an S tier option for you here. He is an insanely good damage dealer, but if you want to build him to go second in your arena team, then you're going to do this ability right here. Removes all buffs from targets under Veil or Perfect Veil. Then places a weaken on enemies who have Veil or Perfect Veil removed. But ignore all that because that doesn't happen very often. Most of the time what you're going to do is AoE stun, 100%. And it has very, very good multipliers, so you can use him as your nuker if you want to. Also, if you put them on the same team with Countess Lix, he's insanely good. They're super good together. Who else do we want to call out next? Nobody from this faction, I don't think. I think that's it, okay? In Barbarians, is there anybody who we want to include from Barbarians? Syl is technically an option, but not a good one. And I think Armina is, like, tolerable, but not good, okay? So let's go ahead and go to Oghren. Ignatius has an AoE provoke here, but it is not 100%. Although, I mean, if you have to, you can use it. Okay, if you have to, you can use it. Nobody else from Oghren would I recommend. So let's go into Lizardmen. In Lizardmen, we have Krisk. But if you have Krisk, you're probably not going to use him this way. But he is very good at this, okay? He does place the AoE provoke on all enemies. It's only for one turn, but that's okay. But usually you're not going to build him this fast. You're going to build him for Hydra, for other areas of the game. But he's amazing at this role. It's just like he's so much better at the other role, okay? In Skinwalkers, we don't... Wait, does Tunisia do stuns? Yeah, okay. So you have to be careful with Tunisia because they have to have 50% turn meter or more. But, I mean, that is going to happen the majority of the time, okay? The only issue with using Tunisia, other than she's another Void Legendary, and we're going to have budget options, even in this faction. The only problem with Tunisia is you're probably going to build her for your spider team. And so, like, you don't want to use her in that role. But she's very good at it. As far as the epics go, nothing. But there is a rare that's very accessible, Gnarlhorn, okay? Gnarlhorn is great in Faction Wars. He's great early game. He has He has an AoE provoke on a 3-turn cooldown, and he also places a 30% increased defense on himself, and he's an HP-based champion. He's an excellent, excellent rare champion that is very usable. I was actually looking for him on an account takeover that I did the other day. Unfortunately, they had almost no crowd control champions on their account. So, over to Orcs. We already discussed Warlord. You do have Iron Brago, but again, this is only 75% chance, so I don't recommend it. Angar is the one I referred to earlier. He has an AoE provoke, reflect damage, counterattack, which is outstanding, okay? But then he takes 20 years to go run up to the other team and attack them, once he has, that provoke landed. But he's still insanely good, okay? And then his passive can extend the provokes, okay? Alright, next up, are there any epics? I don't want to miss anyone. Again, Duck has a partial HP, or a provoke, not 100%. So let's come down to Demon Spawn. Demon Spawn has some good options, okay? Just like we were talking about at the beginning of this list, Countess Lix has block active skills, okay, which is great. She also has a second ability, which decreases their turn meter multiple times, okay? I personally don't like champions who decrease the enemy's turn meter, or if you want to run like 2 champions who increase your turn meter. I don't like that in your team, okay? I like to go speed, provoke, decrease defense, damage, okay? But today we're just talking about the crowd control. We'll talk about team compositions in a future video, okay? But Countess Lix, very good option. She does have the block active skills. Drexstar again, AoE provoke, not 100%. Kymar is an incredible option, and I think the only one on this list who is going to use the sleep debuff instead of stun, freeze, or provoke, block active skills, any of those. It removes all buffs, places sleep buff for 1 turn, and obviously he's an insane champion with the skill reset as well. Okay, also he has the speed aura in arena battles. Kymar, one of the best legendaries in the entire game. If you have Kymar, you probably already know this, and you're probably already using him, but he's amazing. As far as epics go, we actually have a very good top tier option here, which is Umbral Enchantress. She's gotten a lot of press lately for this AoE block buffs that I've always loved on her, but I've always used her for the AoE provoke and the unkillable buff on herself. Don't worry about block active skills on yourself, it's fine. It's not a drawback, it doesn't matter. So what if you can't use the block buffs in arena? We don't care. You're just gonna use your A1, it's fine. And she's a defense-based champion, very easy to keep alive. She's pretty slow, so it can be challenging to get her to those top speeds, so she can go second in your arena team. But I mean, if your gear's good enough, you can definitely make it work. And she's an incredible champion, okay? I think that's everybody from that faction. Again, if I'm missing people, you just let me know in the comments below, who did I miss, okay? I do not want to include champions on this list like Mashald with AoE Fear or True Fear. It's too inconsistent. I don't recommend it. Puts 1 of each target skills on cooldown. Bloodgorged is serviceable if that's all you have, but I don't recommend him because he's only going to put 1 of their skills on cooldown. I don't know why this doesn't just say all. Put all of the target skills on cooldown. All of them. Make him a legitimate legendary. Otherwise, people are still not going to use him. But he's a good damage dealer. Oh, I forgot one person. We'll go back. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. I thought that this was 100% chance on Nethril. No, not going to recommend him. Is there anybody in here in the epics or rares? No, I don't think so. We're need to hop back up to High Elves. And I need to mention Basilius Ronus because he was buffed and now he does the AoE stun. Okay, 100%. So I feel like nobody has this champion, but if you have him, then you could use him as well, AoE stun. Okay, we were on Dark Elves. Ray can be used for this ability right here to remove buffs and freeze them. It's not 100%, but it does a lot of damage. Okay. Next up, we have my lady. I gotta sneeze. I've been Sorry, I couldn't mute the mic there. Excuse me. Physics is one of the best options. We all get her after so many days playing. 269 days playing, right? Because we get her on 270. Yeah, I think that's right. She is one of the best champions in the game after the buff. Plarium literally did exactly what I wanted them to do. They made this an AoE provoke instead of a single target provoke. Even though it says single combat, it's an AoE provoke. Her A2 has the decreased speed, which is great. And then her A1 has the turn meter reduction. But the AoE provoke is what we are looking at right now. Physics is who I use on my account right now. And I look for her on everyone's accounts when I'm doing takeovers. An excellent, excellent option. I'm not going to recommend someone like Sylar in this video. That is a turn meter decrease. And as I said, I don't like that. Soulless is a great option here for the Knights Rev Faction Wars. Or for the Knights Rev Faction, excuse me. But most people are going to build him as a damage dealer, okay? Provoke on all enemies for 1 turn, okay? If you want to build him as your provoker, you definitely can. But with his damage being so high, you're probably going to want to just build him as a damage dealer if you have him. So, you know, that is what it is. Bistophis? So, Bistophis, or Bistophis, places block active skills. And I think he's an underrated champion. Wait. The block active skills is over here. Okay. He is an underrated champion. The problem is, again, this is not 100%, okay? Hegemon is a great option, but he doesn't really fit into this category, but I feel, you know, compelled. Hegi in a stun set is pretty OP, so I'm going to mention him on the list, but... And then Versulf, I don't think that his is 100% either. Oh, his is just on the A1. Okay, I'm misremembering that completely. I'm misremembering that completely. And then the problem with the epics is there's no one to crowd control. Bergoth has the AoE provoke, not 100%. Miscreated Monster has AoE stun, not 100%. So let's come over to dwarves for one of the best options in the game, which is Molly. She has the AoE provoke, 100% chance. Wait. Okay. I was just like, I was reading her skill, and I was very confused, but then then it clicked. Okay, so it's 100% to place the provoke, but sometimes it's 2 turns instead of 1. Okay, that's the only thing. She also has a revive, and her A1 actually can smack a little bit. Her passive is crazy as well. Some people just do, you know, use her for her passive. Man, I'd love to get her on my account right now. Tormund does have an AoE provoke. I would say it is pretty reliable because if you don't land the provoke, then you'll probably land the freeze. But I feel like I should mention him. Actually, a better option in dwarves is Rockbreaker. SS tier for Faction Wars. He will help you clear the 21 boss with this ability here, but he has 100% chance AoE provoke. Again, falling short a little bit because of that counterattack. He'll be slow, but he can do good damage as well. And then we are left with Shadowkin, and I don't think there's anyone in Shadowkin that does any type of AoE crowd control in the way that we want it to. I don't think that there's anyone. If I'm wrong about that, please let me know in the comments below. But for the most part, well, when I'm on someone's account, who are the top champions I'm looking for? You know, I'm looking for the legendaries, obviously. But if there are no legendaries, then my next go-to is Umbral Enchantress, okay? But with Vizix being an option, I just want to leave off on the fact that everybody's going to get Vizix, okay? Eventually, you're going to get Vizix. And so if you don't have this ability on your roster right now, you will get it. You will get it. And Vizix is a great option here. So, if you want to dominate Arena, make sure you put in the comments below crowd control, and then you can get yourself a chance to win some gems. I usually give it, about 5 days, 5 to 7 days for the video to generate some hype before I give out the gems. And then I will contact the winner in the comments below. You will have to message me in Discord with your player ID number. Okay, your number is what we call it. And so, not going to edit that out. Little quick 2-second. Get the nose under control. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm MtgJedi. I need to go blow my nose. Not that you really need to know that. But tell me who your favorite crowd control champions are in the comments below. Good luck on the gem giveaways. And make sure you're subscribed for more awesome videos in my Dominate Arena series. See you guys in the next video.